I has a kitty. And I just watched Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. She didn't watch it with me. Okay, so my brother just took me to see Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, despite the fact every criticism I've seen of it totally ripped it apart. They said it was total garbage, and I'm not going to say I was bored. I was not bored watching this movie. I can't say that. I can't say the movie was good. I can't say the movie scared me. But I've lived with my sister, so I mean, you know, it's not going to scare me. Not a lot of things will. However, I mean, the worst thing you're really going to see in this is a little blood and some swearing. So, you know, there's the thing. There is another attractive woman to fill the spot of Katie from the original Paranormal Activity film. But, you know, you're not as into her in this one. I mean, you know, she doesn't show anything off. She does dress. I mean, hey, if I saw her at a club, I'd be totally into her. But in the film, I'm like, okay, this is somebody I would see walking down the street. It's not sort of the Katie thing where it's like, you know, you're looking at her going, huh, yeah, just, huh. Seriously. So there's the thing. Now, one of the major criticisms of this film is that the camera shoots in an aspect ratio that was not available when that camera was made. The only thing is that that camera was a custom piece of hardware, would have filmed in its own aspect ratio, and there is a plot twist that I can't reveal to you, but, you know, there is a reason it would make sense that that camera films that way. Also, there's the simple plot that he could be cropping, and it could be just, you know, how his device crops the footage. So there is that. It would have been nice to show the stuff more like videotapes, because obviously they would be kind of old. They would have survived a fire and all that. So there should have been a little more issue with the tapes. They were a little too clean, and I'll grant that. But I don't think that really took much away from the viewing experience for me. Kid about it. I think more along the lines of people are kind of tearing this movie apart because it's a sequel after a sequel after a sequel. It doesn't really tie in well with the previous films, and it's hard to follow. It's not a very easy to understand narrative. It's very complicated. I mean, it's like they've talked about all this stuff that they don't really show you, and it's like, I did research and I found out this, and maybe what they should have done is taken part of this thing out of the found footage and just broken that found footage law at this point and said, okay, it's an actual movie. So there are scenes like from the 28 Weeks Later, I think it was, where you had the girl looking through the camera rather than the camera being the audience's eyes. Maybe if they had done that in a few scenes and they had okay, I'm a guy really trying to find out what's going on with my daughter, rather than some idiot filming everything, maybe that would have made this a better movie. So there is that. Now, the other thing, the thing that really stood out to me was the special effects did not look real. They looked really silly, very computer animated, very computer generated, and it's hard for me to be afraid of something that I look at that and I go, yeah, a computer's making that. It's not real. I can't be afraid of it. So that's one thing. And then the third thing that does stand out is if you're the kind of person who's a ghost aficionado and you believe in research and doing things, if you're the kind of person that would look at this movie and say, this is a movie about a Class 3 phantom, well, you're going to be disappointed because very little research actually went in to making this film consistent with hauntings. That's sort of my thing, you know. So, again, Paranormal Activity, I'm glad I watched it. I'm not going to rip it apart. I'm definitely not going to go watching it again. I might look up one of the actors. One of them was a very attractive woman, and I'd like to see her in a few more things. None of the performances were absolutely spot on, although I thought the kids, being kids, the little girl did very well for what she was trying to do. So there was that. Yeah, I mean, again, It's a scary movie that was out for Halloween. It's not a great movie. It's not a terrible movie. I'd say it's really mid-range. I mean, it held itself together. It was well made, but not well executed. Okay? That's my thing. I think that if they had used a little more eerie special effects, if maybe they could have stepped up the pace a bit, it would have been a better movie. But I'm not going to trash the film. The film, it was okay. Now let's get you some food, Nimbus. Oh, and by the way, if any of you wants a kitten, Nimbus here is up for adoption. I found her and several other kittens at what used to be my work. I've recently been laid off, and I obviously cannot keep these kittens because I don't have a job. So, please share and like this video. Maybe watch it a few more times so I can afford to feed these furry little angels. And have a happy holiday season. Have a happy holiday season, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Richard.